The following game has been rated T for teen by the ESRB for fantasy violence, mild language, and drug references. That means anyone under the age of 13 should not be watching this video. You have been warned. Greetings and salutations, I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is of course my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Starpoint Gemini Warlords. Oh yes, in a way this is the one with the spaceships. That is also true. So the premise of the Starpoint Gemini series is that you are a starship captain doing starship things. Most notably running around completing various missions for your faction of choice. Of course, saying faction of your choice is something of a misnomer, as at the very least if you play through the storyline, you are tied to a specific faction known as the Solari Concord, who are the descendants of the old Terran Empire who originally settled the Gemini faction. Eventually the Gemini system wanted its independence. The Empire originally said no, so they fought a war. And at some point, I'm not quite certain exactly who, mainly because I don't remember, because it's been a while since I played the first Starpoint Gemini game. But anyway, at some point during the initial War of Independence, someone, somewhere, utilized reality-bending weapons to break, essentially, space and time. This had the effect of cutting off the Gemini system from, well, everywhere. And while the system did eventually regain contact with Earth of old, from my understanding there was an alien species that had attacked old Earth, and the refugees from the planet of old came here and eventually formed the Solari Concord, of which, as I said before, you are a member. Now, much like everywhere else in real life, old habits and feelings run deep, so not everybody is a fan of the old Terran Empire, and by extension, the Solari Concord. And when your faction decides to build bigger and better and more powerful ships, someone says no, and they basically blow it up with you on board. So the game is basically you fighting back the people who attacked your faction and their friends, of which there seems to be an ever-growing horde. Also, they're building a massive, essentially planet-killing weapon, and to counteract that, one of your peers decides it's probably best to build one of ours, because nothing says improved international relations than one side, whom pretty much everybody at the very least is passively tolerant about, has a massive strategic-grade weapons platform, whereas everybody else doesn't. So I fully expect that to go over well. Yes, can't you note sarcasm? So that's the general premise of the game so far, and I basically currently running around collecting resources to build massive strategic-grade weapons platform. So expect the continuation of that. And on that note, this game is of course made by Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin. Alright, so here we are. This is our ship. The one in the middle of the screen, the one that is technically doing, I was going to say a barrel roll, but I'm fairly certain most people keep saying that's an aileron roll, whereas a barrel roll is this. Honestly, it's a roll. A roll is a roll, and it looks like the ship is standing still with everywhere else moving. I always like that weird phenomenon. Anyway.
Planar alignment now.
Right, so now that we're aligned with, well, everything, if we look at the map, we are here. And here is all the way down here. Our main base is up here. The reason why we're not by our main base, the Concordia headquarters, is because in order to build the massive strategic-grade weapons platform that I mentioned before, we need resources. And in order to get resources, because I kind of I want to say maxed out all the resources I had available in my territory, I decided to expand. And while I could have expanded into allied territory, making my allies my, well, not allies, I have plenty of enemies, and no one really minds if I take their stuff. So, well, the enemies mind, but I don't really much care about the enemies', what's the term I'm looking for, feelings. So, came through here taking the stuff, mostly anything that gets me ore, because I need a ridiculous pile of ore, because if we go to Concordia, where basically everything is powered, so that's the wrong button, but if we look at the research screen, to get the massive strategic-grade weapons platform, colloquially known as the Proxima, I need to research all of these things. In order to research all of these things, I need to get a massive pile of resources, most notably ore, so as well as materials and the like. So that is what I've been doing, and that is what I'm going to continue to do. Now, my one thought is just to keep exploring this area and keep taking things and doing various other stuff, but, well, I don't think that there's much in the way of asteroids in this area. I mean, this area is completely empty, this area is completely empty, I don't know what's here, but given the fact that this is a massive irradiated nebula that eats starships, I'm fairly certain this is either more of the same or, well, nothing else of interest. I mean, it could be it could have resources, but it could not. So my one thought is to travel back up here to Helmsford, where people don't like us, and basically take more of their territory. I could have sworn this was under attack by Senchuk. Oh well, if it's not, it belongs to my friends, and I'm not about to fight my friends. So on that note, where is the nearest... I was going to say the nearest T-gate's right here, but let's be honest. Nearest T-gate jump point closest to Helmsford is right here, and, you know, I might as well just fly that way. Of course, if I do take the direct route, it'll A, be long, and B, cut through Senchuk territory, which is this area, and unlike Helmsford, which barely has much of anything anymore because I kind of broke most of their stuff, Senchuk not only has a planet, but has ridiculously superpowered fleets at the moment. I mean, this one right here consists of 2 dreadnoughts, 3 battleships, 7 frigates, and 5 gunships, whereas the only 2 fleets I have to my name is Storm Squadron, consisting of 2 carriers, and the Honor Armada, which consists of my 3 War Masters, an NPC carrier, and technically my ship, even though everybody's just, the fleet's just following me. You know what, let's head this way, see what's exactly here. But that's my entire armed forces in a nutshell. I could and technically should be building more ships. In fact, if I look at Concordia and their shipyard, I am in the process of building another carrier. But large ships, which are required at this point in the game because small ships just simply die, require a large amount of materials, and I need the materials to research new stuff with Proxima.
Hostile region entered.
So I can't guarantee I'll be able to actually get newer and shinier and better vessels. Still, I make do with what I have.
We're entering hostile territory, Captain.
We've been in hostile territory. What else is new? My fleet has pretty much cut and explored swath clean through these two tiles, and I would assume that if there were asteroids in this zone, it'd be like this one, where it's pretty much filled with it. Same with over here and here, and I mean, technically this one doesn't completely fill this zone, but then again, this zone is a junkyard, so slightly different. But I'm not seeing any asteroids, so I'm assuming this zone is, well, empty as well. So we continue on. I mean, there are asteroids here, but green means that it's an allied system, so... And I said before, I'm not about to attack my allies. I got plenty of enemies on the map as it is, and I don't need more. Oh look, an enemy fleet. Probably trying to retake this guard post. I should probably turn around and fight them off, but I gotta be honest, I don't much care. Of course, once they take this area, they're probably going to double back and try to take here. Although it's only got a fleet power of 3,698, whereas the guard post has an approximate fleet power of 2,200. So Helm's Fort gets a reprieve for now. Of course, now the question is, can I turn around and get back there in time? Okay, so this is now under attack by a fleet that's got 18,000, almost equal power levels. So this is going to be done in like 11 minutes, whereas this is done in just shy of 3 3/4. Of course, now I'm in range of it, so... Oh, not only is it one battleship, it's also a War Master.
Firing at will.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Boy fighters.
All wings launch as soon as ready.
You're not the only one with special abilities. And you're dead.
We destroyed
Alright.
an enemy target.
Call the fighters.
Affirmative.
Let's move on to the other battle. Alright, and since this battle started out of nowhere, I'm assuming the enemy fleet came from here. I just realized there's a mining operation down here, which means more asteroids are down in this area. So rather than flying all the way back to Helm's Fort, why did the map suddenly cut out? That's weird. Anyway, rather than flying all the way back to Helm's Fort to take these areas, I could probably just simply take down south in this region, at least this zone. Maybe this one, if the enemy fleet came from here. This is green tinted, so I'm assuming that this is Allied controlled territory. Then we We also have what looks like more asteroids up here, which... That's weird. Which is also in enemy-controlled territory, but it's closer to Concordia than, well, further down is. And now we're within range of this fight.
Adjusting ship rotation.
You grace us with your presence.
I'm in the area.
Squadrons launch.
Let's go kill them. Stuff. I'm taking fire from everywhere. I feel like I'm taking fire. That's a carrier. I feel like I'm taking fire from everywhere.
Not really smart, are you?
Starboard shield is at half capacity.
Alright, so let's boost the shields real quick. All the special abilities, well, most of the special abilities. The final one that I didn't use is the cloaking device. That's not really an offensive ability, it's more of a use it so that way I don't get killed type of scenario.
You better flee like the insect you are.
Alright, there goes that carrier.
Target neutralized.
Oh goody, there's a War Master here.
Denied.
And my cargo space is filled. Enough. That's a lot of cargo. Can we not shoot the hologram?
You cannot hide. The 25 guys are $6.
There goes that guy. Alright, so is that everybody? Hopefully that's everybody. We called the fighters. You know what? Let's dock. Just so that way... No, for once I'm not actually carrying plasma weapons. That's oddly surprising. So sell all of that. Rearm. And then we leave. Because we have a war to fight.
Affirmative.
Alright, so I'm assuming, as I said before, the guys that attacked the Skeening Shipyard Station, I don't recall seeing that fleet, so I'm assuming it came from the north here. So hopefully this isn't like,
All decks were flying through hostile space.
this area there where there's no control station to take the zone with. There's just like this massive fleet out there that killed all your ships. I mean, I can already see these 3 tiles. This is going to be one of those completely empty zones, isn't it? Not even a relay station so far. That's annoying.
Tactical reports of hostiles in the area.
It's like random fleets just sitting here. On the plus side, there is a forward outpost. Let's take this.
Matching planar alignment now.
that one and that one. Equipment's about to die. And that's a battleship. Redeploy the fighters. Maybe, maybe not. Of course, there's winning and then there's winning. My shields look fine, so. He's definitely had it worse than I do. Lady, I don't think I know. Especially once my friends get here. Oh look, my friends are here. Yeah, boost the shields. Yeah, that battleship's dead. Now for the comparatively smaller ones. Why did I do that? Because now the originally fired the heavy weapons when they weren't in range. Of course, now they're in range.
Things are getting interesting. You're attacking me with that?
And now you're dead. Moving right along.
Is down.
A Loki class frigate. No, let's board. Let's also grapple. Okay, so let's breach through the hull. The cargo bay. Advance to the cargo bay. Probably not going to take this one, especially considering I want to pillage their various chunks. And the med bay is rather early. Let's move on past the engine room.
Aft shield down to 25%, Captain.
Let's pillage the shield generator just for fun, even though it doesn't have much in the way of shields left. Shields are down. I grappled it so that way I don't end up accidentally walking past. Let's pillage weapons control, even though I only have an 86% chance of doing so, and the weapons are disabled, so let's retreat. Cut the grapple. Flip around. And fire off with the heavy weapons to kill it. Moving right along. Oh look, there's a cruiser. The dreadnought too. And it's dead. And we've captured the zone.
If I die, I'll take you with me.
So, is the dreadnought part of the defending force? Apparently not. Oh look, we gained a skill point. Goody. Alright, kill the dreadnought. Goodness knows, if we leave it alone, it'll probably just swing back and try to retake the area. Dreadnought's practically a fleet onto itself. course, I guess it's a good thing I have essentially 2 dreadnoughts, 2 carriers, and a battleship on my fleet. Oddly enough, well, not oddly enough, I'm the one piloting the battleship. It's technically the smallest ship in my fleet. No, I do that for storyline purposes. If you haven't seen any of, well, those who haven't seen any of the prior episodes, it seems like the story is broken up amongst various chapters, and every new chapter you need a more powerful and bigger ship. So that way I know where one chapter ends and another one starts. I don't actually upgrade my ship until I need to. And oh look, there's the relay satellite. And for a good long while,
engage sublight.
No, it's been essentially what I like to call the battleship chapter, and I don't know if it's going to jump to a dreadnought chapter or just simply skip to carrier chapter, or this is pretty much just it. On a side note, I should have plenty of resources to actually research something. So I think hull plating is the next most expensive, in addition to shielded core housing. So what does it need? Like 1 million, but I realize that's the credits, not war. But let's just start from the top and work our way down. So next one up is hull plating. So I have 3 unused skill points, but in order to upgrade any of my skills, it's going to take at least 4. So I can't really upgrade anything just yet. I have no unused perk points, so I can't get any new skills. If I look at equipment, I could have sworn I had some T-drive units. Let's swap them out for the scavenger swarm. So the T-drive is essentially a faster than light method of travel. Sublight, as I discussed in one of the earlier episodes, at least in my opinion, is not traveling faster than light, but it's traveling while at a sublight speed, or sublight speed, that's the name. You are traveling at a speed that would incur relativistic time dilation. So it's basically ridiculously fast, but not faster than the speed of light. The T-drive, on the other hand, either opens up a wormhole or essentially accelerates your ship to the speed of light. And unlike in the original first game, I believe, where you could equip a T-drive to your vessel and just jump willy-nilly, in order to actually initiate a T-jump, you have to, in this game, you have to go to either a T-gate, which is one of these little icons, or use a consumable known as a T-drive charge. It should instantly teleport you to your destination. The main reason why I don't use them, at least haven't really used them, and I just realized I left my fighters behind. I'm always doing that. Oh look, a battleship. Well, let's see if they're actually going to head our way. Doesn't really matter, they're taking damage to their shields, which means somebody's attacking them. Yep, they're close by now. Let's get moving. That's dead. Picking up all manner of plasma rifles. I wonder if plasma rifles is how these pirates get paid. I mean, everybody's carrying them, and it's, I'm assuming, you know, it's a case that, you know, it's just the currency of this area. Oh, look, a carrier. There goes that carrier.
Impossible. Our cargo hold is full.
And once again, we filled up the cargo bay. Okay. Alright, so the fighters are now idle, so let's actually get them back in the bay this time. And what are you? You are too far out to tell. Okay then. Let's press
Engaging
on.
Sublight.
Yeah, my fleet's still going strong. Oh look! A undeveloped wormhole. That means I can build a T-gate here if and when I manage to take this zone. Would certainly be helpful. Well, we are not taking this zone. That is a planet. Actually, can I take a planet? I've never actually tried before.
Course adjusted. Engaging Sublight.
Who owns this area? The Outer Lands. I have absolutely no idea how you take a planet. I'm assuming you don't bump into the
Full
thing.
stop. Collision imminent.
Yeah, I figured as much. I can't dock with it, can I? Nope. Huh.
Affirmative. Engage Sublight.
Is there a relay satellite in the area I can see the entire thing with? Yeah, it's got a 100,000 approximate fleet power. Yields 600 ore per week. Increases the maximum super capital ship capacity by 1.
Hostile region entered.
But I have absolutely no idea how to take it. Usually it's just show up, fight the fleet, and go about my way. And if I win, I get their zone. If not, then well, I reload. But I've never taken a planet before.
Engage Sublight.
Man, I was hoping for an easy T-gate. Oh well. I mean, I'm assuming taking a planet isn't as easy as just showing up and fighting a few starships and suddenly it's ours, given the fact that planets are technically where people live, and I would assume a planet has a massive population numbering in the millions, if not billions, and it's not going to be a case of, oh wow, you destroyed our orbital space defense fleet, as well as a couple stations. We are sorry, we are now part of your faction. That's not usually how you take a country. And there are missiles chasing me.
All hands be advised. We've entered a hostile region.
We've been in a hostile. Where have you been? Okay, so the relay satellite is not in this area. Let's try over here. Let's try not to smack into the planet. I like how in sublight speed you can actually run away from missiles. I also like the fact that you're traveling at ridiculously fast speeds, but they're still able to hit you with lasers and railguns and plasma-based weaponry. And that anomaly messed up the sensors. Oh look, I think this is the relay station. I don't really go hunting by this screen.
We're entering hostile territory, Captain.
Or not. I mean, I'm assuming the little satellite icon is the relay station. Could just be this mysterious signal I'm flying to.
Captain, that ship is in trouble. Should we intervene?
What ship? I mean, okay, fine. I say that as I start surrounded. I start surrounded by bigger, badder, more powerful vessels. I'm probably going to regret this, aren't I?
Engaging automated protocols. All weapons on auto mode.
That's quite a few vessels. Oh look, we've opened fire. Okay. Launch fighters and try not to get ourselves killed.
Let's get this mother. Target acquired.
Into the pod.
Good to know I can take out a carrier when somebody else is shooting at it. Yeah, I keep forgetting cargo bay is completely filled. Let's go after this carrier instead.
Any more damage and we're done for.
Find I'll take you with me.
Well, it's technically not the closest vessel. I probably really should take care of the ships surrounding the big massive ship, because if I get too close to the big massive ship, the ship surrounding it will probably be able to hit my ship from all sides.
Your explosions will light the sky.
Sure they will. Gotta blow up the ship first, though.
I guess peaceful resolution isn't your thing, huh?
Not today, Burra.
Another cruiser dead.
Your explosion will light the skies.
You keep saying that, and you keep not causing an explosion. Goes that battleship. Say I sunk it, but this is space. Things don't sink. They just keep moving in a forward direction. That's what passes for forward. Because Newtonian physics works that way. That's probably a waste of heavy weapons, but okay. Looks like all my ships are still intact. Count, well, 3 icons for War Masters and that yellow thing, which is the non-War Master carrier. I'm guessing all that's left is this dreadnought.
Port shield is at half capacity.
Let this be a free lesson to you.
Alright, thank you for your assistance. I thought we were doomed once those ambushers came. I'm assuming that was the friendly ship. On plus side, I got 500 extra materials and 7 more T-drive charges, so always fun. Call the fighters, even though they're basically in there refueling. And
Affirmative.
sit down this
Engage
way.
Sublight. We're entering enemy territory.
Now, of course we are. How much to research the next thing on the list? Another 55,000 ore, although technically I could get weapon charge capacitor, weapon focus chamber, weapon targeting 6, rift modulator, and emergency jump for what I have. And it's probably smarter just to start researching things in general. So while I do want to just simply go down the list and get the expensive stuff out of the way first, let's actually just research whatever we can with what we can as we get it to research. If that makes any sense, and if not, then well.
Hostile region entered.
Why do I think this area doesn't actually have a relay satellite? And I think the icon that I saw was actually for this zone over here. It's just that this is the edge of the map. I haven't fully checked this tile yet, and I've pretty much seen this tile, well, these 2 tiles. This one's kind of the edge right there. That's an artifact vault. You know what? I've never actually bothered with these artifact vaults before. Let's see what they are about. I'm ridiculously low on weapons, so. Alright, so it did say scan. It's supposed to shoot. Alright, so we gained a perk point. And a skill point. Okay. That's neat. So that now gives me 4 skill points, which means, since I like using the cloak pretty much all the time, cloak gets upgraded first. And for perks, I absolutely have no idea what I want for perks. So... I mean, Master of Taxes would get me extra credits, and I'm getting into the dear god, the ship is expensive range for buying new ship classes and other ships, so let's actually get that. I mean, it's not much, but it's an issue of quantity over quality. So.
Engaging sublight.
The more you have, the more you get. Damn, I only got like 10.5 million credits to my name. And... oh, you actually have maintenance costs. Interesting. And most ships, I believe, Dreadnought and Carrier class are like 25, 26, 50 million. Yeah, I'm beginning to think there is no relay satellite for this zone. Can we not stop?
Engaging sublight.
I asked like we didn't get to the waypoint. Yeah, I'm seeing the line here for the edge of the map. There's no relay zone station in this area. So it begs the question, how do you take a planet? I mean, do you just shoot all the security ships in this area? In which case, there's a ridiculously large amount of security ships. Would explain why fleet power is so high if you have to kill basically every ship. What am I shooting at? Oh. It's probably the mining facility. Why can't I target any... why is it I can only target the freighter? Come on. And it could be a case that there's only freighters here. That would technically make sense. Of course, this is a freight liner. This is basically a massive souped up freighter. That was a big explosion. That's another freight liner. So what exactly is my ship shooting at if I can't target it? Oh. This thing again. Can I raid it?
Security is on their way.
I can actually raid it.
Target destroyed.
How much of security? Alright, advance with the cargo bay even though I technically don't need cargo. Because the cargo bay is full. Still, I get extra pillage. Just naturally, so there's that. Alright, you know, I was gonna say, it doesn't seem right to just to fight freighters, so let's move on.
Initiating sublight. Realigning course.
Alright, well, I was hoping that the Gemopedia would have a listing as to various things, but... content menu... Stations and planets... Control bonuses... Okay, but how do I take a planet? territory. Powerful effect requires resource sustains growth and strength, so forth and so on. Just control from a key location. Planets for taking over is a bit difficult. You can always expect a battle ensue. Taking over a forward outpost is pretty straightforward. Why can't I scroll down? Neutralize all opposition. Conquer stations touch from devil because stations are usually better guarded by warfleets. Stations are more fortified on their own, surrounded by sealed defense platforms. To secure the station, you defeat all defensive ships or platforms. Planets are somewhat special. You don't have nearly enough marines and ground troops to engage in a slow and exhausting siege for key targets on a planet surface. Instead, you have to go for a shock attack and force the enemy to surrender. For this, you need to build something special. Upgrade the hangar on your HQ to move forward with this bit. So I'm guessing you can't actually conquer planets until you get the Proxima. Alright, in that case, I guess we're not taking a planet. So, moving on.
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
Yeah, as expected. They took that. So let's head there, and let's see what happens when we engage the T-drive.
Protocol engaged.
Okay, I've never actually used this before. Huh. That actually used up all of my T-drive charges. On the plus side, the Honor Armada is still here. So let's pull you out real quick. Have the Storm Squadron merge with it. Have the new carrier, which forms its own Shade Squadron, jump from this T-gate to this T-gate to this garrison. Will you merge with this fleet? I don't know if it's just a massive pile of very large ships, or, you know, there's like some weird stuff going on, but for some reason, ever since I started building carriers and battleships and whatnot, rather than just merging fleets, the ships keep doing this weird little dance thing. Alright, and the fleet is now merged, and they call it Storm Squadron, but I like Honor Armada, so we're gonna go with that. Fairly certain I spelled it correctly. And Maxon's now in charge of the new Honor Armada. So now that that's been taken, we have, well, now that those are merged, I now have 3 carriers as opposed to 1 AI, just standard AI carrier, in addition to my War Masters. I'll have the new carrier just hang here, so that way, you know what, go merge with that one.
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
And everybody can play catch up as we go hit this garrison. The Helm the Barony, even though I think it's actually part of Helmsford. Because while I was questioning how to take a planet, Senchunk took it from the Baylor, Maginot Barony. I mean, I did technically want Senchunk to take it, that way we can take it to Senchunk
territory,
and don't have to worry about Right, my friends are very far behind. Oh look, A wanted fugitive for 10 million credits. And I should probably stop.
Matching planar alignment now.
Give my fleet time to catch up. Because goodness knows they need it. Because I'm not about to attack something with 5,000 fleet power, or any fleet power for that matter, without backup.
Engaging sublight.
Plus that I'm not 1% certain, but I think the fleets are now within range, so... Let's go fight this! Alright, deploy fighters. Alright, brush aside the gunships like it's nobody's business.
Tactical reports on hostiles in the area.
I would certainly hope so, given the fact we are in hostile space. Okay, you're a big ship, so we're gonna fight you. Well, I'm technically out of heavy weapon ammo. Again. No, just for fun, deploy the troops. Alright, breach through. Walk past the cargo bay. Cut through the engine room. Grab supplies at the med bay. Hike past the shield generator. And break all their boom guns. Right, and I only have 10 Marines left, so we'll just have them retreat. And, basically keep shooting. And you're dead. Alright. Zone is now ours. Recall the fighters. And Maxton is leveled up. Goody. Okay, so we now own this zone. What's the fleet power in the station? 20,000 and change. What's the fleet power for my fleet? All my fleets. Okay, you go here. You try to merge. Do the whole song and dance. You guys done yet?
Engaging sublight.
You guys need privacy or something? There we go. Again, it took the name of Shade Squadron, but I like Honor Armada. So we're gonna switch the name back to that. And Higgs is now back in charge. we're gonna slow up real quick. Watch as the asteroids play hockey with each other. Gonna start moving because, you know, standing still in a fleet battle is kind of, well, suicidal, even if I am in a big ship. I am technically outnumbered, even if I'm not outgunned. I am also out of, well, most of the heavy weapons. I think I got some stuff left in the Ford magazine, but the side and after ammo bins are empty. I should probably deploy fighters.
Target is down.
And you're dead.
Starboard shield.
Oh, there's a battleship here. Goody. And we'll use some of my last heavy weapons on. There's somebody behind me, isn't there? And I'll use the special ability to just off you. So who was doing the shooting? Oh, maybe it was fighters from the battleship. Speaking of fighters, they're called the fighters. And my fleet's here. So let's hit this station. And if we look at research, we can't do shielded core housing just yet because we don't have enough stuff. But let's get the core reaction chamber researched. Allow us to unlock the ability to research the core antimatter injector.
Tactical reports of hostiles in the area.
Well, we did just enter hostile territory, so that does kind of make sense. And as usual, plasma rifles, the currency of all pirates, is illegal in this zone. Who's on this side? You know, I've played this game how many episodes, and I've explored this much of the map. Of course, I guess it helps when the storyline only focuses on like this area. And the battle has started, so let's stop real quick. There's a lot of anomalies. Let's scan the anomalies because who knows what's going to happen. And let's deploy the fighters.
All wings launch as soon as ready.
Because combat has started. And get the entire ship moving. Get the entire ship afloat. Because I just lost my port shield. Started taking hull damage. So let's start fighting things. I don't need you to submit, I just need you to stop fighting. I think I'm shooting through somewhere. That's a dreadnought.
We're dangerously close to dying.
Can we stop shooting the Freightliner and shoot the dreadnought? I mean, the Freightliner's dead, so I guess they can stop shooting at it now.
Port shield down to 25%, Captain.
Oh, of course it is. I have a special ability which can chop a smaller vessel in half. Does like 5% damage on the dreadnought. And I would say let's give it a shield facing that isn't completely collapsed, but you could argue that's both the port and starboard side. And that frigate's now dead. Plus side, the shield booster is recharged, so I can do use that again.
Life support failing.
This is crazy, but let's deploy some troops. Yeah, it takes half my Marines just to get to the engine room. Pillage the engine room and let's go home.
Energy shields reinitialized.
Probably should not have this side with almost no shields facing it. Of course, this is a station, so even if we take out the dreadnought, we still have to deal with the station defenses.
Enemy ship in range. Active defense protocols.
And the dreadnought's now dead.
Energy shields reinitialized.
Reports of excessive
On
damage.
the plus side, the research is now complete. Alright, so let's scan this
Initializing
anomaly.
scan. Reinitializing shields. Port shield is at half capacity.
And this anomaly.
Energy shields reinitialized.
I think we fell out of range with that one. That's the star, one of them. Alright, let's deal with the defensive platforms.
Reinitializing shields.
We'll shoot the defensive platform and not the shield generator. Boost the shields. There goes that one. On to the next one.
Energy shields reinitialized.
I don't know what the purpose of the shield generators are, and let's not have the shieldless side face the defensive turrets. You know, I can pass clean through the shields, I can shoot clean through the shields. What is the shield for? As I fly into the platform we're trying to kill. And now it's dead. Okay. On to the next one. Now, if memory serves, I don't actually need to take out the shield generators. I need to kill the defensive platforms. And this is why I don't like standing still. Shoot that, and then we go. by, and we captured the zone. And we gain one extra skill point and
Initialized.
one perk point, and then we recall the fighters. Where is that final anomaly? Seriously, I have absolutely no idea where it is. I mean, I know it's still here because of the weird-looking patterns on the sides of the screen. And this little icon right here. Is that it? No, I think that's just the Waterloo Battle Station.
Affirmative.
Alright, let's actually jump to Sublight real quick. So that way we get some distance easily and quickly. Then we turn around and see if we can find this anomaly. Hey, where it's on the other side. Amongst the massive pile of debris.
Initializing
So we scan you. And you're not gone. If we look at research, let's get the weapon focus chamber researched. And let's just continue on with the old plan, because I don't really have much of a plan, but let's get that King Demands, which increases... Let's get that King Demands, which increases the credits you get from each of the zones. And let's also dock, because we're damaged, and we're out of ammo, and cargo bay's been full. So, sell off everything. Rearm everything. Huh. We don't actually need to repair the hull. That's weird. Anyway, there's no shipyard here. So, okay. No new ships, but then again, it's not a shipyard, so I shouldn't really expect a shipyard there. And where are you going? You're going to attack the garrison, aren't you? Alright, so Senchunk is trying to retake this zone, and I have less than 6 minutes to get there. And their carrier, dreadnought, and battleship is fighting my garrison of 2 cruisers, 2 frigates, a corvette, and 6 gunships. So if I don't get there, chances are very, very good I'll lose the zone again, because I believe I took it from Helmsford. Senchunk took it from me. Helm the Barony took it from them, Senchuk took it back, and I reclaimed it. And I have a feeling this is just going to keep continuing until I can break Senchuk. But I'm not going to be able to fully defeat their faction, because they have a planet, much like this planet. It's not someplace I can just fly up and take. On a side note, we're here.
Adjusting access elevation. Initiating sublight.
I think. Yep, there we are. And my shields are now down, so let's cloak before the ship gets blown up. And initiate the repair drones.
Front shield is at 50%.
So they must have done something to completely wipe all my shields out. But let's use the shield booster and deploy fighters. Ah, and this War Master is in a carrier, which makes sense given the fact that it's this late in the game. Okay, and I'm running low on health again. Cloak the ship again.
Affirmative.
Because I got 34 seconds until I can reuse the repair bots again. Initiated. And I'm down to less than a quarter health. So with respect, everybody pile on the carrier on the War Master. And I'm just going to hang back here. Until A, the shields recharge, and B, my repair drones can be reused, because I'm now technically out of the fight. Let's stop right here. And repair. Let's recall the fighters real quick, because they're not going to attack at this distance, and I'm too far away to support them, so... Yeah, the repair drones couldn't even fully repair the vessel. That's how much damage I had taken. Alright, and shields are now back at full, so hopefully they won't get mangled again. Redeploy the fighters. And let's get back within range. Even though he's only at 6% left, and now he's dead. Just because he's pissed me off, let's blow up his corpse. And collect his stuff. Okay, so did I lose anybody from that? Nope. Okay, good. Let's say goodbye to Helmsford.
Engage sublight. Hostile region entered.
Oh, that does make perfect sense. I mean, we are in a red zone. And I once again forgot to recall the fighters. Bonus props for those guys. Because God knows, if somebody kept doing that to me, I would be pretty pissed off. So, while we wait for the fighters to return, let's take out this patrol.
I, fire at will command executed.
As some very big and very mean looking ships turn around. And make a bunch of others just disappear. Probably not.
Target neutralized.
Captain dead. Reporting casualties.
Alright, and once again we pick up more pirate currency. Quite a bit of it apparently, because usually it just says illegal goods, plasma rifles, but now it's illegal goods, plasma rifles, plasma rifles, plasma rifles, plasma rifles. But then again, that might just be the initial pickup. And still waiting on the fighters. What is this? Oh, a research outpost. Increases shipbuilding speed. Interesting. It's kind of cool. Right, they're not getting here anytime soon, so let's just continue on. Alright, and here we go. Let's wait for my allies to show up. I said deploy the fighters, but let's be honest. I deployed them back here, and they're still on their way.
Security, be advised. Incoming hostile target. Armed defenses.
The end is nigh.
Just wipe out all the little gunships.
Almost all systems down.
Dying is the last thing I'll do.
Port shield is at half capacity. Port
Yes,
shield
even
at
little
25%
ships can,
power.
and great numbers can take out a big ship.
Shield is at half capacity.
Of course, now my friends have shown up. Well, one of them anyway. Boost the shields. Freightliner, that's a freightliner. Another freightliner. Frigate. Pretty dogpile on the carrier. Oh, my fighters have finally returned. I actually did not expect them to get here that quickly, which should say something. Oh, look, a battleship. When you get so focused on the ridiculously large ships, you'd fail to notice the still large but not ridiculously slow ships. I don't know if those heavy weapons were targeting me or the Paladin battleship. I'm guessing me, considering they came off screen. Alright, reboost the shields. I don't know why, but all the turrets seem to be dorsal now. Like, you don't really see many turrets fight ventral side. And the carrier's still around, so let's redeploy the fighters. I'm assuming they've had a nice break. If not, they get deployed anyway. Alright, accidentally cloaked the ship. I mean, now he's dead, so it doesn't really matter. That's a freightliner.
Fleets have finished their job.
They're not going to move on until they killed the freightliners, aren't they? Okay, fine. I mean, I guess it makes sense to take out enemy shipping.
Enemy stationary object detected, Captain.
I mean, the enemy force can't really supply its military if they don't have the funds to do so, and such funds come from the economy.
Abandon all stations.
Technically. In a very loose sense of the term, I guess you could say.
Acquiring planar coordinates. Starboard shield is at half capacity.
As I ram into the thing I'm trying to take, just blow up that platform
Port shield is at
and
half
move on to the
capacity.
next one.
Aft shield down to 25%, Captain.
I know. Actually, no, I didn't know until you told me.
Starboard shield down to 25%.
Let's be honest about that. That's probably overkill, but it's dead now, so... It's the shield generator. That is not. That's gone now. Let's recharge the shields. There's like a massive overlap of platforms right in here. It's like they're expecting something to come from this angle. Kind of weird.
One of our fleets have finished their job.
Oh, goody. Now, where's the next one? Next one, we don't have to kill the shield generators, just the defensive platforms. And with that, we capture the zone. Terry Higgs and Nika go up a level, as does Leonard Maxton. And if we look at the map, we've taken the entire region. We have all of Helmsford. I don't know if that's the end of the Helmsford Barony or if they got some other extra holding off in the God knows where. And I should probably stop. But let's dock, and I just realized I did not recall the fighters.
May your
Let's
travels
leave.
be bountiful.
Because the fighters automatically
Fighter
return.
squadrons, you're good to go.
So let's recall the fighters, just to be on the safe side. And then we dock. And then we sell off all the salvage, including the legal stuff, because even though it's illegal, everybody still buys it. Rearm and repair.
Good luck.
And we leave. And so, as I said, we now own all of Helmsford. So, I mean, Senchuk still has this asteroid field, and I still need an ungodly amount of resources of ore just to research everything. Yeah, I mean, I can't even research the cheaper stuff yet. Of course, this time it's not because I'm low on credits. Because I need 5 million credits and I only have... Well, I'm sorry, 5 billion credits. And I only had... No, that's million. I can't read anymore. And I only have 4,974,921. And the next weekly resupply isn't going to happen for another 55%. So there's that. So, I like to think we made progress. We took all of Helmsford, which I've been meaning to do for 2 episodes now. Took a little bit more of this stuff down here. So that's always fun. In fact, I know it's going to cost resources, so let's actually skip that until the next research thing is paid for. So, I guess all that's left is to just keep gathering resources to finish researching the rest of the Proxima stuff, of which I can now safely say I have gotten half? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Over half. There's 12 of them here, and I've researched 7 of them. So we're over halfway to completing the goal. So we are further along now than when we were, which means we have done progress, which is always good. Provided, of course, you're working towards your actual goal. There can be negative progress. That is a thing. Few people realize that. But on that note, I'm going to call it here. Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.